Welcome back. It's 8:13. As businesses prepare to reopen, a lot of them are really looking forward to much needed cash flow. But with so many people losing their jobs, Americans might be looking also to conserve their money. Joining me right now is our financial expert, Pete the Planner. Good morning, Pete. Good to see you.
Good. I'm conserving money by wearing the same clothes for 7 weeks straight.
Here's my question, though, real quick.
Yeah,
How
sure.
often do you wash them? Are you conserving detergent and water as well?
No, we're washing our clothes.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to be the
Okay.
bearer of good news, but I don't smell right now.
Okay, good. All right, so let's talk about this. I mean, I know this is just, we're bringing up questions of things that you're talking to business people and folks. Do you think that people are going to be inclined right now to go out and because they feel safe to go out, let's say to go to dinner, and will they be inclined to spend money, do you think?
Yes, I think there's this idea of pent-up demand. We're so used to spending money. We actually get a dopamine hit. Chemicals are released in our brain when we spend money. That's why the average American household spends money 22 times per week, and that number has been on the rise even since the Great Recession. And so, Angela, I think people just want to feel good again. It's, you hear the term retail therapy. I think there is pent-up demand. However, I think it's important we talk about the three groups of people that need to consider what is best for them. There's the people, the consumers who've been already greatly negatively financially impacted by what's going on. There's the people who haven't really been impacted yet, but don't have an emergency fund. Then there's finally the people who have not been impacted yet, who do have an emergency fund. I think it's a different prescription for each of the three groups.
Yeah, and I want to talk to, we've been hearing the governor talking about, hey, if you're a restaurant, you can do blank. You can have this amount of capacity or this amount of capacity. And you're hearing from restaurant owners and saying, if I don't have 100% capacity, I don't make a dime. They have to start somewhere. What do you think businesses are going to do, or what do you expect from businesses, or what can they expect?
I think you're going to see evolution of the restaurant business. I think you're going to see different menus. You're going to see different sort of carry out window style things. And I'm not complaining about the rules for restaurants, but I'll just say the math does not work. You can't have a 5% profit margin with 100% capacity and then expect to make any money with 50% capacity. I'm not complaining. It's just math.
100%. I guess you have to say, okay, well, then if we have to start somewhere, the business has to maybe try to survive while they have that 50%, 60, trying to make it back up to that 100%. Let's talk about that. You mentioned the delivery and the curbside service. I know there are a lot of businesses right now that are saying, you know what, I don't have to necessarily open. Maybe I will just continue delivery or curbside. Is that something that you think might last, or what are you hearing from business leaders and owners?
I think that will last. I think you're going to see increased prices, which makes sense. And I think you're going to see fewer restaurants going to the delivery service models with the national delivery companies. I think you're going to see localized delivery services that don't take as much of the revenue.
Yeah, maybe you're then going to hire a delivery driver, and maybe you just pay the insurance on that driver as opposed to giving out 7 or whatever percentage is to your Grubhub or whoever.
Exactly.
Pete, great advice and thoughts this morning.
Maybe.
We appreciate it. Now go do some laundry.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, we'll see.